I just finished with the first M15 pre-release that I was a part of at Comic Town. With the pre-release, my main color was green. As you can see with these 6 cards alone, I think it was a very good color. And then the rest of the deck I had was pretty good. I'm going to just go over it. I'm going to talk about some of the new cards that are a part of M15. So I have 3 of us Mystics. You just ramp, you get green. So this is really good. And then I have 3 Rune Claw Bears. They're just 1 in the green for a 2/2. And then I have a Gargoyle Sentinel, and it has an ability that has Defender, and then when you pay 3, it gains Flying and loses Defender till end of turn. And then I have M15, the Wanderer Bard. With him, you can pretty much, it's kind of like a quote-unquote what's it called, birthing pod, but you pay mana and you tap it, so you kind of have to wait a turn. Pay mana, tap it, you put a verse counter on it. For each verse counter it has, you get a creature off your deck, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle your library, which it actually was pretty good. I was able to get extra Elvish Mystics and Rune Claw Bears. I did actually tick it up to 5 at one point, which kind of came in handy because I had that haster in the deck, which I'll go over later. For 4 drops, I have the Ogre Spirit, which is Kurkresh Ancient. And how that works is that he has the ability, whenever you activate the ability of an artifact, if it's not a mana ability, you get to pay a red and you copy that ability and you can choose new targets. Then I have an Underground Scavenger. It enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters for each creature card in graveyards, in each graveyard, all graveyards. And then I have a Shaman of Spring, which you play 1 in a green, or 3 in a green, and then you play it, you draw a card when it enters the battlefield. And then I have a Thundering Giant, which is the haster I was talking about. So it's a 4/3 haste for 3 and red, and you get a haster for 4/3. Then I have a Nightfire Giant. I splashed a Swamp so I can cast him, and I actually played him pretty frequently in all my matches today. And he gets +1/+1 launch and control a mountain, so it enters the battlefield as a 5/4, and then you pay 4 and a red, and you deal 2 damage to target creature or player. And then I also have a Charging Rhino, and when it attacks, it can't be blocked but by more than 1 creature, so you can only block with 1 creature at a time with this guy. And then for my 6 drops here, I have 2 of these Carnivorous Moss Beast. It's a 4 and 2 green, and then it's a 4/5, and then you pay 5 and 2 green to have a counter on it, so you pay 7 mana. So I have 2 of those, only because since I was ramping a lot, I decided to play bigger dudes. And then the promo is Prytho Titan, and when it dies, it enters the battlefield tapped under the owner's control at the beginning of his or next upkeep. It's okay, not really the best promo, I think, but it does the job. It is a really good blocker, and you're going to get it back even though it comes in tapped. And then I have a Miner's Bane. It's for 4 and a 2 red, and it has the ability where you pay 1 red and 2 colorless, and it gets +1/+0 and trample to end the turn, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good beater. 6 mana is a lot, but with the 3 Mystics, I was actually able to play him pretty frequently. I actually played another card for my 6 drop. I played this card, which Might Makes Right. How this card works is as an enchantment at the beginning of each combat on my turn, if I control each creature with the power, with the greatest power, then I get to grab a creature from the opponent and have it against haste till end of turn. I can attack with it or whatever, use his ability. I don't really like this card because there were quite a few times where I had a lot of larger creatures, but I didn't have each of the larger creatures, so I couldn't actually steal another guy. So it's okay, I guess, in the right deck. Probably not in this one unless I had a lot of bigger dudes, which I didn't. But I'm sure I'll probably find a home if you draft it. So, yeah. Okay.
Where are you going to find bigger dudes?
And then I'll go over my 7 drop here. I have a Hornet Queen, which is a beast of a card. When it enters the battlefield, it gets 4+1, or 4/1 green insect creatures with flying and death touch, and it itself has flying and death touch. So you basically have 6 power, and then they all have death touch, so you can kind of trade with like really powerful creatures and stuff. Then for my land, for my non-creature spells, I have a Titanic Growth, 2 Lightning Strikes. Where's that one? And then I have a Ranger's Guile. Target creature gets +1/+1 hexproof. Brawler's Plate, which I had 2 of these in my pool, and I decided to play this guy, and it's a creature gets +2/+2 in trample, which kind of helped out in a lot of the matches I played today. Getting that extra trample damage in, especially with like a creature like this. It becomes kind of a threat. It makes pretty much all my creatures threats because I didn't have any creatures at all with trample, except for the Miner's Bane's ability, but none of my creatures had trample. And then I have a Cone of Flame, which is actually a really good card. It does, how it reads is that Cone of Flame deals 1 damage to target creature or player, 2 damage to target creature or player, and 3 damage to a third creature. So basically, or player. So you can pretty much, if they have a board where there's like a 3 toughness, 2 toughness, and 1 toughness dude, you can pretty much wipe their board. Or what I did in one game where someone had the black promo, and I played this card, and he had 2 power dudes, so I did 1 to the dude, 1 to the player, 1 to that creature, 2 to that the 1 creature with 2 toughness, and the other one with 3. So it wiped the boards. Pretty good, really pretty good sorcery. I would say in probably a draft, it'll probably be a little bit better if you have like the ramp. And then I ended up playing for lands. I ended up playing 16 lands. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forests. I played, I think actually, over here, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mountains. I played Evolving Wilds and Splashed the Swamp for the Night Fire Giant. Which actually, with that card, Night Fire Giant, I was actually able to draw my swamps pretty frequently, so I didn't really need to get the swamp. But you know, I mean, I played it on turn 5 quite a few times. It's actually a pretty good card. I really like it. As far as other cards that I opened, I didn't really open any mythics, any of the souls, any
Two-headed giant players. Can I have your attention, please? We are going to begin passing
so they're starting actually the two-headed giant. I just finished with the 6 rounds for the pre-release at 10.
If you're talking, you're wrong.
That is it. That's about it. I'm gonna probably just go ahead and end the video.
Open until
you guys have a great evening.
For two-headed giant, it is